Well, every sport has their birthplace. It's a place of history, of heritage, and a symbol for the future. Well, this is the birthplace of Formula One. This is Silverstone. Welcome along to the United Kingdom, just south of Northampton, for round 10 of the Breakout Racing League, the Tier 2 Championship, and the British Grand Prix. We are back to where it all started 71 years ago. It was Giuseppe Farina and his Alfa Romeo team surviving the circuit and his car to come home as the first Formula One championship victor. Now, fast forward 71 years later, and an illustrious list of names have been created, such as Vettel, Alonso, Villeneuve, Fittipaldi, Stewart, Moss, Schumacher, Lauda, Brabham, Mansell, Prost, Clark, and let's certainly not forget Lewis Hamilton. Well, out of all these drivers here tonight, who can add their name to the list of the drivers who can win the British Grand Prix themselves? It all started with a World War II airbase called the RAF Silverstone. Over time, it's become a venue that we all know and love. It has 18 corners, 8 to the left and 10 to the right, which makes up the 5.891 kilometer, 3.661 mile circuit. There are 2 DRS zones, one in the run in the Brooklands and the other in the run in the Stowe. This will add overtaking and, hopefully not have too much of an issue, but we saw through Realistic and Tier 3 that the DRS train can definitely be a factor. Whoever breaks out of that DRS train may have a great finish here tonight. The circuit is not only deserving and demanding of the drivers, but it's also the tires as well. Pirelli have brought the C3, C2, and C1 tires, with the C3 being the Redwood Soft, the C2 being the Yellowwood Mediums, and the C1 being the Whitewood Hard tire, with the ever-looming threat of the British weather, the intermediates and soft compound, the full wets are not out of the equation. Let's look at the championship then. After Austria, SwellerSteam and Rathe have once again a close battle at the top. Well, after a little bit of confusion and a little bit of some in-game problems, it all come through the stewarding themselves. Rathe now leads the championship by one singular point over SwellerSteam, 145 to 144 respectively. In third, Toneless Death, he jumps the Aston Martin and Bosch Gerbil to be through. 101 points to the Ferrari, 97 to the Aston Martin. AlphaTauri's heatwave after a disqualification a week ago. He now sits P5, going down a position with 81 points to his name, which is 22 points clear of BRL Tweak, who went up 2 positions ahead of No Limit, and Mozzie. No Limit has a race ban for the Silverstone Grand Prix. He will not be here tonight. Well, he sits P7 in the standings, 3 points ahead of Mozzie in the Alfa Romeo. Master Plane sits 9th with about 7 points gap ahead of Pumps to the Win. Cal Zoner and his teammate Holy Cow are 11th and 12th for the Mercedes team. But let's look at the team championship. Alfa Romeo, they lead the gap by 29 points, 199 points to 170 for Red Bull in second. Ferrari, they're 10 points behind Red Bull with 160. They jump Aston Martin after their success a week ago. AlphaTauri sits 5th with about 8 points clear to McLaren, who is about 28 points ahead of Mercedes in 7th with 45 points to their name. Alpine have a strong running after the Austrian Grand Prix, especially with this man, Groggy Oregano, and his teammate, Mount Siva, who I'm on board with right now. Their strong performance got him up ahead of Williams. They're about 1 point in 8th position. 9th is Williams with 26. Haas is 21 points back from the Williams team in 10th. Well, now I'm Haycatcher doing alongside Redeemer. Now Redeemer, it's Britain. It's passion, heritage, and it's Silverstone. We saw through Tier 3. We saw through Realistic. We didn't get to see it through Tier 4 because of the rain-affected race. But what do you think is going to happen here? And will the illustrious DRS train prove a factor here again at tonight?
Sure. That's one way to put it. I guess I'm stuck in my throat there. I just tried talking. Sorry about that. But yeah, just gonna be interesting to see, like you were saying, on who can break away from the trains and who can stay with them, because they're really gonna preserve tires. The Silva does a 27.6, Gerbil behind kept it clean. He's going to do a 27 flat, and I believe the next person is going to be an Alfa Romeo. They're both on laps.
Tweaking goes through Abbey into Farm, turns 1 and 2 now into turn 3 here. And, once again, the British Grand Prix, it's going to be interesting. We saw a great race through in Tier 4 last night. We also saw a good race in Tier 3 with a lot of chaos, including down this straight right here, the Wellington Straight. They went 3-4 wide down the straight. I was actually one of those cars involved. It wasn't fun, but for the camera angle and for the viewers, it was fun indeed. Boss Gerbil goes for provisional pole, 27-0. Master Plane, his teammate, 27-6. Matt Silva, P3. Holy Cow, P4. Greg Oregano, after his 4th place finish a week ago, his highest of the season, goes to 5th. 29.0 is his time right now. Tweaking, we now are going to go on board with one of the fastest corners in Formula One. It's Copse, it's heritage. It was all in turn 1 for the British Grand Prix fans, and it's definitely a sign of what could be an interesting lap 1. We had Hamilton and Verstappen. They crashed there. This in the IRL race at the British Grand Prix. Could it happen in lap 1 here today with the championship rivals, SwellerSteam and BRL Rathe? We'll have to figure that one out. That is Holy Cow and Calzoner, both drivers going up 4th and 5th. 27.9 for Calzoner, 28.5 for Holy Cow.
Yeah, Rathe right now coming through the final corner, locked up a little bit, but he's still going to do a 26.8. Wow.
That's a great lap indeed. We're now on board with I Am Tweaking through the final couple of corners through Vale into Club. What can the Ferrari do? He had a good finish a week ago. His teammate won the race. Tweaking goes to 3rd, 27.4, ahead of Masterplane, and splits the Aston Martins.
Yeah, Mozzie's coming through now through the final corners. Gonna lock up on that left front there. Takes it nice and easy. He's gonna go a little bit wide. Still kept it valid. He's gonna go P4, and that is Tweaking off in turn 3.
We have a couple of drivers still on a flying lap. One of those being, I believe, the Mercedes. Not Calzoner, it's actually Holy Cow. He actually goes and improves by ahead of his teammate, 27.9, and about, 73 milliseconds ahead of his teammate on the mediums. So I said the C3, C2, and C1 tires of the compounds we have to the disposal of the drivers, plus the intermediates and full wets come this British Grand Prix. And, well, right now it's clear, it's dry, and the sun is definitely out. SwellerSteam goes for original pole. That's a great lap. 26.6, 2 tenths faster. Wow. A couple of drivers and a big name actually happened a week ago. If you didn't get to tune in, it was a crazy race, and it was definitely one for the record books for the Tier 1 standards. And, well, we had an incident, and almost like left, right, and center. There was a ton of battling, ton of mysterious actions going on, if you could say. And we had a couple of, I don't know, interesting occurrences. 2 disqualifications. Yes, 2, ironically. Both Alpha Tauris were disqualified. 1 for passing the safety car to unlap himself, that being... Actually, no, I'm sorry. Roscoe was disqualified for driving the wrong way after his spin, and his wheel actually disconnected, and that caused a huge crash with Mozzie. Mozzie definitely wants to try and rebound from that race. He DNF'd, one of his first of the season. Actually, the first of the season for him. But the other one was Heatwave in 14th. He's in the pits right now, and once again, he's on those mediums, and we always joke about him always being on the medium compounded tire, but, well, he's there right now. He was also disqualified, but he was leading the Grand Prix and passed the safety car into the pit lane and was disqualified there. So we're probably not going to have, hopefully, as crazy of a race, and hopefully we do not have any disqualifications, and, well, hopefully it's going to be a good race regardless.
I thought that was Palms for the win that got disqualified.
Was it Palms?
I think it was Palms, if I remember correctly off the top of my head, and they are starting a flying
I think we may have had 3 disqualifications there.
Because I know Roscoe got, collided in turn, well, didn't collide, but hit Mozzie in turn 3.
Yeah, then he got disqualified for driving backwards because he couldn't actually fix his wheel, and his AI drove backwards. What happened?
Palms went through turn number 3, he hit that orange sausage curb, and the rear just kind of kicked out on him, but he saved it. Well, speaking of Mozzie, he just went P4.
Yes, he did. Ahead of I Am Tweaking, and his Alfa Romeo teammate, obviously on pole by about 6 tenths ahead of his lap time.
There's a line of cars coming out of the pits.
Oh, there is. I can see that on the mini-map. Wow.
It is a Williams, a Red Bull, and then 2 Ferraris.
Wow. Well, hopefully, it's either going to be one of 2 things. Either one, people are really aggravated and really, I guess, wishing to get a good lap in, and the other being there's rain on the way. We'll have to figure out which one is which in the coming moments of time. And one thing to look out for, track limits. That has seemed to be kind of a touchy subject this week. And if you definitely saw the realistic race, as I invalidated right there, as I say it, Palms to the win.
Yeah, they got
Beckets into
really
Chapel.
Loose.
Yeah, he did.
And
he cut that corner on the inside.
On the softs coming through Copse, had a little lift there.
That's been an interesting story, too, with the track limits, because some drivers can actually lift and, I guess, not necessarily gain time, but definitely extend the track and avoid from getting a warning. But also is the conversation of how do you take Copse. It's a lot different than the 2020 cars. The 2021 cars a lot less downforce, especially because of the barge boards and the floor. Well, who takes it with way? You have drivers trying to take it a little bit more aggressively with a little bit more of an oversteery setup, taking it flat, or you have drivers like Matt Silva lifting, trying to make sure it's cautious and it doesn't go out of control. Let's see how it goes on his lap so far through Vale into Club.
On the final corner, he's only going to jump up to P6, so he must have lost time in that lap somewheres.
Probably so. Yellow flag, I believe that is everyone trying to kind of space out,
well,
going down the hangar straight.
I was going to say there's a McLaren going fast, but that's... Silkweaver on an outlap. He's going to get caught out by Tweaking. This might actually help Silkweaver out just a little bit, being dragged along by Tweaking on the softs while Silkweaver's on the mediums.
One thing I do want to point out, though, is this DRS is going to help them if he can stay within that slipstream. But look behind him. I believe that is Toneless in the Ferrari last week's race winner at Austria. Or either that or it is actually, and I think it is Toneless because I believe...
No, it is Toneless.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because I believe the yellow rule hoop has always been Toneless and Tweaking's been the black one. Well, he won the Grand Prix a week ago, and his teammates ahead of him, but look how close they are. Dirty air here is horrible, especially in the second sector with Maggots and Beckets, that complex, especially with Stowe as well. How much is that going to affect Toneless behind, and how much is that affecting Silkweaver right now on the mediums?
Well, Silkweaver's not that close as Toneless is to him right now.
That is true.
So yes, Silkweaver, he downshifts, lifts a little bit, keeping the speed through the corner. There he does to Maggots and Beckets, rear end a little bit slidey, keeps it planted though. Nicely done through Maggots and Beckets. He's going to hug that left-hand side going down the straight into the Stowe corner. Toneless is right on his gearbox, getting that lovely slipstream and the dirty air from this McLaren.
Yeah, he's going to get really good slipstream, but how much
They
air
backed off.
pits?
Both Ferraris backed off.
Well, that pretty much proves that statement there. 6 minutes left to go. What does Silkweaver do on the mediums?
Gonna jump to
P10.
P10.
It's the only one actually set a lap so far on the mediums that has not gone out with a soft run. I believe someone else has jumped him. I believe that was Chucky Snags up in the Williams. Yes, he has.
And there's a sprint to Crocky. I was through the infamous cop corner.
Yeah, once again, it's just going to be difficult how these drivers have to take that corner because, well, the cars themselves, the drivers want to go flat out. That's just the given. But the cars don't really work. So if you compromise that line on entry, trying to make sure you get the drive off, sometimes you hit the grass on the left, kind of extending that line. You can spin at mid-corner, or the setup itself just doesn't really play too nice with you. See how that plays out. Rathe, he's on an outlap going through Vale and about to start his flying lap in the Williams. Behind him, I believe, is the Alpine. Is that Groggy? Yes, it is. I believe he's pitting.
Yeah, on board with SwellerSteam, Gerbil went P2 ahead of Rathe. And I believe Rathe is on a slow lap. Mozzie is on a quick one, but SwellerSteam is coming through the final two corners now. See if he can improve on his time, and he doesn't. His teammate Mozzie coming down the next straight, which I believe is the Wellington straight into Stowe corner. Don't harass me if I got that wrong.
I believe it's the other way around. I think it's the hangar straight.
Yeah. Math no good. Brain no workout. Mozzie's gonna go very wide on exit again. And he's only gonna improve by 0.07 of a second.
It's going to be, it looks like so far it's just one of these drivers may have a little bit of overheating problem. Mozzie may be one of them going a little bit wide right there at the exit of Vale both times.
Look at this.
What?
Heat wave. Not on the medium compound tires.
Oh my god, what is happening?
It's a sin!
What is this? Alright, according to Heatwave, it's going to now be a monsoon. And that has to be the only reason he's on the softs. But no,
Ooh.
In all seriousness, the reverse strategy, the medium soft, has been proven as not necessarily beneficial. It's the DRS, especially the DRS train. If it's a full dry race, it's not going to benefit the drivers on the mediums going to the softs later because, well, the undercut is once again powerful here. Well, we'll see how that plays out. Rathe, he's on a flying lap going through actually just started one again, going through Abbey now in the Williams. Heatwave just started his flying lap. Flying lap for Matt Silva up in P8 in the Alpine. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. The track is now going to get more rubbered in, and the drivers' times are going to start coming down. Who can grab for pole right now at SwellerSteam? And let's go look at the gap to leader to see exactly how close it is. 1/10, but look at the close between Gerbil and Rathe.
Yeah, that's a nail biter.
Oh, running wide Rathe. He actually set a purple sector 1, but may have hurt him in the run into Luffield. We'll see how he goes the rest of the lap.
He's going to get a tow from, I believe, the Alpine head of Groggy. which might hurt him coming through Copse. He's gonna take it flat out. Whoa, my gosh!
Oh!
What a save, and he
Saves
somehow
it.
kept it valid.
Wow.
Yeah, Groggy is just
Pretty
ruining him
impressive.
right now with that dirty air.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's going to kill his lap right there. A 4.0 in the middle sector.
He somehow set a purple sector 1, sector 2 rather.
Well, you know, classic Cody's, I guess. Once again, slipstream through. He may be bailing out. Yes,
Yeah,
he is.
he is.
That middle sector killed him.
Heatwave.
See, Heatwave, though,
is gonna back
also
out of
bails
it.
out.
Palms for the win is
Palms with the win with
retired.
tires. I believe that's in the pit lane. I believe it is. Toneless Depth, he's on a flying lap right now in the Ferrari. The only one who has not set a time. He was out on the track. Rocky Ragnar, he's on a flying lap, I believe. He just crossed the line a couple of seconds ago. He's now into the loop in about a couple of seconds' time. Turn 4. Other driver on a flying lap. I am tweaking the other Ferrari. He's going now in the Wellington Straight on the run into Brooklands. Calzone's on an out lap. Jerobo's on an out lap. Both these drivers going to see what they can do right now. A minute and 50 seconds left to go. If you're not out of the pit lane by now, you're going to be wanting to.
Technically, I have to ask, didn't they name a straight this season
Hamilton Straight.
after Lewison? Yeah.
Yes, it's the start-finish straight after Vale into 1.
English right now is just like not comprehensible.
Now you'll be fine.
Yeah, not debatable.
Going into Stowe. Toneless Death, a week ago, he won the race at Austria. Wasn't on tracks, but it was from penalties, but regardless, it's still a win for the Ferrari. And he would want and would hope to recalibrate and do it again here at Silverstone. He's going to want some good track position. What does the Ferrari go? P4. 2/10 off a pole.
Gerbil's on a flying lap now, his final flying lap.
Tweaking is as well. He's going into Vale.
Tweaking definitely has enough time, though, to do another lap after this one, if he really wants to.
See what he is. Right now, P8. He goes behind his teammate by about 0.2 of a second. 4th and 5th for Ferrari.
Gerbil's up 0.08 of a second through sector 1. He's coming through the old start-finish straight now, going into Copse to see how he handles this corner. He's gonna lift slightly. Going in through Maggots, Beckets, Chapel. Keeps it planted. But a little bit wide on exit, and he is up by 0.2, almost through sector 2. I keep our eye on Rathe as well. He is going through the first sector.
I think Calzone just crossed the line into that and hurt his teammate. No, he didn't. Holy cow, was retired from the session, so that wouldn't be him. Checkered flag is apparently out. That's a little bit early. I believe the laps are now having to go now.
Corner now. He is going to improve, and he is going to set a P1 with a 26.6. Only 0.08 of a second ahead of SwellerSteam.
Where is Sweller? He's going now into entry. Where's Rathe? Rathe is going through Copse in about a couple seconds' time. And I believe Mozzie didn't make the flag. Toneless is tweaking or pitting. They're 4th and 5th at the highest right now. Calzoner, he's going into Woodcut in a couple seconds' time. Master Plane spins around at Copse. His session is over. That's Max of P8. Matt Silva's retired from the session. Chucky Snacks is across the line. He's out of qualifying as well. His highest is going to be P10. Silkweaver, he's going. Rathe is up as well. Where is he? He's going now. And he cannot contest for pole. Groggy and Silkweaver almost crashed into the pit lane. Groggy has crashed in the pit lane with Silkweaver.
Yeah, Rathe was up 2.5 through his second sector. See if he can improve. He's going to go P1.
He does. Wow.
Calzone finishing a lap now. See where he can go. He's going to stay P7. I believe the last car is
Heatwave.
Heatwave. I wanted to make sure I had it right before I said anything.
Let's see. A little bit of a hesitation in the apex of Beckets.
The 3.7. I think
a couple
that's
more
a good
corners to go.
second sector.
Let's see. His time to beat is a 26.5. right now, the top three in the championship, those two have been almost, or I'm sorry, those three have been almost unbeatable. In qualifying, can Heatwave match him or beat him? P9, 27.5, beats Chunky Snacks and gets into the top 10, meaning everyone in the top 10 will start on the soft compounded tires for the Silverstone in the British Grand Prix. One session down, and now we have the race left to go. Rathe grabs pole once again by 1/10 of a second over Botch Gerbil. Canadian is also followed by his Canadian countryman, SwellerSteam in third. We have a plethora of Ferrari-powered cars. Alfa Romeo third, Ferrari fourth, Ferrari fifth, Alfa Romeo sixth. Sweller having a toneless, tweaking Mozzie. Calzoner seventh, Matt Silva in eighth, Heatwave in ninth, Chunky Snacks rounds out the top 10. All will start on the tire. Holy Cow starts 11th. It's both Silkweaver and Groggy Oregano collided into the pit lane, and both have been given a 5-place grid penalty. They will start in 16th and 15th, respectively. Radicus will start 13th. Radicus will start 12th. Palms will start 13th, and 16th will be, 15th. Oh, Masterplane, sorry, should be 14th. I didn't really get the math right. Well, I would say the sun has stayed, but it's now a lot cloudier than it was in qualifying. Well, it definitely is going to be a dry race regardless, but for how long? The British weather is not always going to stay away. It so far has not come down, and only in Tier 4 has it had in any rain-affected race. In F2 and Realistic, Tier 3 all have been dry races. Tier 4 has been a full wet, and the race itself, we'll see if the rain stays away for the Tier 2 race here tonight. Rathe starts ahead of Gerbil, Sweller third, Toneless fourth. The winner from a week ago at Austria. Tweaking ahead of Mozzie, 5th and 6th. Calzoner, Matt Silva, Heatwave, Chunky Snags all start in the top 10 on these soft compounded tires. The C3, they have to pit once, probably for the medium compounded tire. And 11th, Holy Cow, Radicus starts 12th. Pops for the win, starts 13th on the medium so far. Masterplane starts 14th, so I was correct. And Silkweaver and Groggy Oregano, 15th and 16th. Silkweaver on the mediums, Groggy on the softs at the moment.
Masterplane just switched to the mediums. Oh, there's another one, Holy Cow onto the mediums.
Let's see. So far, the reverse strategy, the medium to soft, has not been as effective. But if there is no safety car and a little bit of, commotion in the top 10, it definitely can help. Look at Tier 3. A day ago, there was a lot of commotion, a lot of battling, and there was a chance for the killer F1 machine and the Haas to have a chance before his luck didn't really go his favor. But it's all going to be about traffic, about the DRS train, and about who can get ahead before that DRS train forms. Rathe ahead of Gerbil, ahead of Sweller, the top 3 in the championship. Not in that order. 1 point separates Rathe and Sweller. Well, definitely going to be a little bit of a talking point so far through the season. We have 9 rounds down. We're on the 10th one, and we have a break after this one. We'll have 14 races left to go determine the champion of Tier 2. Botch Gerbil, he's now closing in on that fight a little bit, but he's going to have a long way to go. He's toneless death with his overtake, and his victory actually overtakes the Aston Martin. We'll see what he can do, starting from 4th position. The top 4 in the championship are actually in the top 4 of the Grand Prix. How does that work out? Tweaking behind him, Mozzie in 6th, Calzoner, and first time back in a couple of weeks' time. Actually, his first time back since, I believe, France. And then you have Matt Silva in the Alpine. Heatwave actually starting in the top 10 on the softs. I know, it's a shocker. Then you have Chunky in 10th. Holy Cow starts in the medium. Same with Radicus. I'm sorry, not with Radicus, with Palms for Masterplane and Silkweaver. Radicus on the softs. Same with Groggy Oregano. A lot of talking points and a lot of chances for overtaking. But how many can get through with that DRS train? Look how close Gerbil has been so far to Rathe there. Kind of almost expressing how he wants to get a move on. Well, speaking of getting a move on, Masterplane has a little bit dropped behind the queue a bit, so that's going to be, unless he catches up in a couple seconds' time, which I think he should through Maggots and Beckets. But now it's all to the discretion of Rathe, who takes the packs. The predicted race stop strategy is going to be one stop regardless, from soft to the medium or the soft to the hard, depending on what tire and what race strategy you think is best. So far, the mediums have been the preferred choice for any driver starting on the soft compounded tire. Well, it's definitely going to determine of how this start and definitely how this first stint goes. Will there be any safety cars? It's not many that has come out so far this weekend. Will it start now? Well, we have Rathe ahead of Gerbil, ahead of Sweller. This top 3, don't count out Toneless, don't count out Tweaking, Mozzie, Calzoner, everyone outside the top 10. They're going to definitely want to get in the top 10 in a hurry before it starts and it's too late with that DRS strain. That's the talking point. But now we go from first to Groggy in 16th position in the Alpine. He would go and close up. Actually, he will not be the last one, though. Master Plane is going to be behind. Heatwave, actually, I don't think. Yeah, yes, okay, good.
Heatwave and Silverstone's car. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep it PG tonight.
I would hope so. Well, you see Master Plane going up into the 14th grid spot and Groggy going into the 16th grid spot. So we go from the Alpine in 16th to the front of the grid. It's time. The lights are on. It's 26 laps of the British Grand Prix. Back to where it all began. And it's lights out. And away we go. And how does it get started? It's a great start from Rathe. Not that good of a start from Gerbil. Now look at SwellerSteam. And on the outside into Abby. How does it pay off for the Alfa Romeo? Around the outside of the Aston Martin. And the Alfa, yeah, here he goes into turn 3. The Aston Martin still ahead of SwellerSteam, overtaking Mozzie and Matt Silva, Calzoner and Groggy. And that's going to be a battle there once again down the inside of the loop, around the outside now, and going to entry. Who holds on? It's still going to be the Aston Martin. Boss Gerbil ahead of SwellerSteam, Tweaking, Mozzie, Toneless Death down a couple positions. What has happened? Yellow flag, Radicus is out.
Silva just, I honestly don't quite know. I was on board with Heatwave watching him. They went side by side, 3 wide into turn number 4. And they come out of 5, and they just went sideways.
No safety car yet. It looks like it's not going to happen. Going down into Copse for the first time. Everyone plays nice. In the back, almost a little bit of contact and a little bit of side-by-side action going into Copse for the first time once again. 25 more times to go through the historic corner, but it looks like everyone other than Matt Silva and Radicus, as you've seen, a little bit of damage for the Alpine, and obviously the Lithium is out of the Grand Prix, so it is not as a clean start as it wanted to be. But look at this. Gerbil is close to Rathe. He's exiting again on the Red Bull here. The Honda engine around the outside of Copse. A little bit of contact between the two drivers. Rathe is going to hold the position, but look at this. The Aston Martin's going to come back at him on the outside of Vale. Down the outside, who has later brakes, still around side. They're side by side. And look at this. The Aston Martin may actually get the better advantage. How is it going to play out? And the Aston Martin, look at that. Boss Gerbil takes the lead of the British Grand Prix.
I was on board with Master Plane, who had a run on Holy Cow coming out of Stowe. And he just backed out of the move, keeping his car in one piece, trying to bring that elder Aston Martin back and home in one piece. As Holy Cow goes a little bit wide into turn number 3.
SwellerSteam is going to have a little bit more of a run compared to Rathe, as he had a little bit of a worse exit. Boss Gerbil now takes the lead of the British Grand Prix. Let's go take a look at the position change from the lead, up 1 position and down 1 position. Gerbil and Rathe, they flip-flopped from the lead. SwellerSteam has not moved. Tweaking, Mozzie have all gone up 1. Heatwave's gone up 3. Toneless has gone down 3. Up 4 positions. The biggest move, Master Plane from 14th to 10th. That Aston Martin is on a charge. Groggy's up 3 positions as well, from 16th to 13th. And obviously we have lost Matt Silva and the worst position gain, -7. And we have lost Radicus from the British Grand Prix, and it's already lap 2. We'll have to see how that plays out for the next 25 laps, almost 24. Rathe, a little bit of a wobble through Beckets.
Yeah, I'm still on board with the other Aston Martin, as everyone is running wide into Chapel, I think it is, on the other end of Maggots and Beckets. You can see the tire marks on the outside of the corner.
That has been a current so far, and right now it looks like most drivers are taking advantage of that leniency and track limits. We'll have to see how long before time penalties get into play. Gerbil sets the fastest lap, and DRS is enabled this time. If you're within a second of the car in front, the drag reduction system, the little flap in the rear wing, will open up, giving you a little bit of straight line speed and a horsepower boost because, well, there's a left drag. That's kind of how that works. That's why it's called the drag reduction system. Well, the DRS train, we'll look at that. From 1st all the way down to 8th with Calzoner, there's a 2-second gap to Holy Cow, the first driver on the medium compounded tire, but there's going to be a DRS train from him on back to Groggy in 13th, where he's going to have a little bit of a gap, and he's going to grab the DRS of Pounce to the win there in 12th. That's going to even include Silkweaver in that DRS train, but look at that. He may actually go for a move.
Master Plane
gets past Holy Cow.
Chucky Sags is going to look for the move as well. Chunky's also on these softs, so he's trying to make as much ground as he can on these softs before they start to die out compared to the mediums.
Goes defensive into Copse. Holy Cow does. That may compromise his exit a little bit. Chunky snags. He's going to have a better run. They're going to go side by side, but he backs off of it.
Yeah.
He does not want to go side by side. And the Beckets on lap 3. Smart move. But he has a chance, though, again. DRS is open for the Mercedes, but a better exit from the Williams. Chunky snags to go to the right-hand side, and it looks like it's going to be quite an easy move. Both drivers have DRS. Chunky's going to lose a bit of battery for the, I guess, for the safety net, and he goes up into the points again. P10 for Chunky.
Yeah, Masterplane is just now trying to catch up to Calzone ahead, who is catching Toneless. Toneless is starting to drop off from Heatwave as Mozzie is just completely gone outside of the 1 second range, tweaking for the time being. Look at the top three, though, all within 0.3 of a second of one another ahead.
We'll see how it plays out. Bosch Turbo had a better exit through Aintree, and that's going to mean he's going to actually be a little bit more safe than than Rathe would have probably wanted down into Brooklands. But look at that battery deployment, 98%, now 100%, a full battery deployment for that Red Bull. He's not using any of it. 83 to the Alfa Romeo behind him. Sweller, he's not using that much either. He's going to use on the button this time to try to close up to the back of Rathe and probably get a better run into Copse. It's not going to be enough time, nor is there enough, I guess, straight left for him to make that move.
Yeah, Calzone was all over the back of Toneless Death through Village as they both run wide through Copse. Through Maggots, Beckets, and Chapel now. Calzone's going to keep it nice and clean. He's going to get the DRS as Toneless doesn't have the DRS. Calzone's going to make this move on the inside before Stowe Corner even comes up.
How powerful the DRS is so far, and well, that puts Calzone up to 7th position. He can now chase after Heatwave in 6th, and that's 1.2 second gap. Heatwave's also kind of on the teetering edge.
He's gonna break late. They're gonna make a little bit of contact. So Quiver's gonna have a little half spin. He's gonna stay ahead of Groggy, but lose the position to Palms.
You know how a second ago I said Calzone would have to go chase after Heatwave? Heatwave went wide and lost a boatload of time. He's now going to be under threat of that DRS for Calzone, and with 0.5 of a second, looks like a better exit through the loop into Aintree for Heatwave, but the DRS will be for the Mercedes, bringing Toneless along with him.
As SwellerSteam is just sitting behind Rathe, letting him know he is still here.
That's close.
Yeah,
Silky gets past Palms to the win, battle for 12.
Now Grog is going for the moving around the outside. He's going to think better of it.
Running a bit wide through Copse again. That's going to be SwellerSteam. How many warnings do these drivers have, and how long will it take? But now it's going to be the waiting game. Which driver steps out of line first, uses that battery deployment, tries to overtake the guy in front. It's going to be difficult because you have a pace advantage, the DRS, and a significant ERS advantage. And obviously the driver in front not to have DRS to even have a chance at overtaking.
Into Stowe, he's going to send it up the inside, and he was just going to cut him off.
There's a chance in the Vale.
He's going to come off again.
Oh, closes the door. Heatwave is apparently having pedal problems, according to Mumu.
Well, he better fix those pedals.
That's not good.
Yeah. Through find another battle as Chunky is still within DRS range of Holy Cow ahead. Groggy.
Oh, Heatwave runs wide. Here he goes, side by side. Oh, almost loses the car. Side by side into Aintree. They're going to be side by side once again. Once again, Calzone has DRS. Heatwave does not. Who goes into the battle into Brooklands? Mercedes ahead. He may stay ahead. Heatwave's going to try to the switch back and grabs a 3-second time penalty for multiple rings and track extensions. He's going to run the outside of Luffield. Once again, who has the better exit? Looks like that is going to go to the Mercedes about even, but into Woodcut. A little bit of contact, but that's going to mean Calzone goes up to 6th. Heatwave to 7th. Ponce then gets past Groggy.
Yeah, there goes Heatwave running wide again.
It's not gone well so far for the AlphaTauri.
Yeah, Rathe is just losing time right now to dribble ahead, but he's still got the DRS, and SwellerSteam is just sitting there tantalizingly.
Speaking of the DRS, here comes Heatwave. He waited, and a little bit of a bump to Calzone. Into Stowe, that's all right. Chunky
again
past
past
Holy Cow, battle for 10th. Heatwave pits. Is this for front wing, or is this for the undercut? Sweller grabs the fastest lap of the Grand Prix.
Ah, that's an early undercut.
It's around the time of an undercut. The mediums can last around this lap to the end of the Grand Prix. And the undercut is pretty powerful here.
I believe it is just for the mediums.
It is. It's an undercut. If you're not knowledgeable, it's when the driver pits before the driver they're racing to get a better tire, better rubber, and to drive faster and hopefully not have traffic to get ahead coming out whenever they have to stop. Right now, it's going to be close between him and Matt Silva, but Matt Silva's not going to be close enough. As you see, Heatwave is actually going to close out of the pit lane and go back into farm.
Yeah, just jumped on board to the top 3 here, and the gaps were just so close. These guys are just pulling away from the rest of the field.
These 3 are making a name for themselves as why they're the top 3 of the championship. Well, unfortunately for Gerbil, his race a week ago kind of didn't really show what he could really do. Toneless grabbed that win, and that put him actually ahead of Josh Gerbil, but Josh Gerbil was on a charge the last couple of races, and he's wanting to make a move in the championship himself. Speaking of making a move, Rathe was close enough. Usto just wasn't close enough to make the move itself.
Yeah, Toneless back here in P7, he's closing up the calzone. As the sun is starting to shine.
Silkweaver, holy cow. Looked for the move into Vale, just not close enough. Running wide through holy cow. He may try the switchback, Silkweaver. He's not going to be close enough.
Whoa!
Oh, almost loses the car into Club. Thankfully saves it. He's going to lose time to holy cow and pumps to the win. Ozzy may actually move on I Am Tweaking, battle for 4th. This is going to help SwellerSteam in the Alfa Romeo's charge. But look at the battery deployment for Mozzie, about 20%. Is he close enough into Brooklands? He's not close enough. And he actually is going to look for it down the inside. He's just kind of peeking his nose there, looking for any opportunity. Tweaking is going to try to be under pressure now. Who blinks first? Calzoner and, I'm sorry, not Calzoner, Silkweaver and Holy Cow. Battle for 10th. Silkweaver gets ahead of the Mercedes after almost losing the car through Club. Here it goes Mozzie again, looking on Tweaking. He's just not close enough through Copse. Not enough time.
Yeah, Rathe right now, he's just using his ERS with the DRS, just trying to get past Gerbil ahead.
May get him here.
I think he's going to. He's going to look around the inside before Stowe.
So he'll get him, but who blinks first? Who pits first? All 3 stay out. Nope.
SwellerSteam is
Sweller,
in.
late call.
Mozzie is in as well. Double stack it out for Romeo.
Oh, that's not going to help them. Then again, it is a longer pit lane. It may actually play off a bit. It's going to be close. No, he's just going to be held up. Whoa, actually, wait a minute.
Oh, this might work perfectly.
He's up a little bit, but that was almost perfect.
Still lost a little bit of time on pit.
Silkweaver, though, he's going to look for a move on Chunky Snags. So the medium's looking like they're definitely the better tire right now. The McLaren to the left-hand side of the Williams. He's going to easily grab that move done way before the braking zone of Brooklands.
Yes, Heatwave's going to get ahead of Mozzie, but Heatwave just lost the rear in turn 1 a little bit there. Had to correct it.
Look how far back he is from SwellerSteam. Mozzie has lost a significant amount of time, especially from his teammate, but now he's undercut by Heatwave in the AlphaTauri.
Now who's going to blink next out of these top 5?
It's got to be Gerbil or Rathe. They're going to lose a significant amount of time if they don't. Who pits this time? Rathe looks like nope, they both stay out.
On board with Tweaking, let's see what he does. He's going to pit. Calzone is going to stay out. Thomas is going to stay out. Masterplane is going to stay out. Chunky Snags is going to pit. Groggy Oregano is going to run wide in Stowe. He's going to stay out.
Medium for the Tweaking. And that's going to be, once again, how is the battle between him and SwellerSteam going to be? How far ahead? The Alfa Romeo was ahead of the Ferrari anyway, but look how much he's going to be ahead after this. Chunky Snags is in as well.
Wow.
That is a significant amount of time.
I like how close he is to Heat Wave, or how close Heat Wave is to him. Oh, there's Groggy Original's gonna get past bombs to the win.
This battle for 8th. Groggy has yet to stop. Same with everyone in the top 4, all on the soft compounded tire. Well, how close do they stop? Well, you see right now, Bosch Gerbil is within the DRS of Rathe. Calzoner is kind of towing Tuneless Death along.
And is using a lot more ERS than what I'm used to seeing from him. I see who pits there. Rathe is not going to pit. He threw the dummy. Gerbil is not falling for it. Let's see if Calzoner or Toneless pit. Calzoner is going to pit. Toneless is going to follow him in.
Looks like this is a lap. Rathe is going to lose a lot of time. 5-second time penalty. That is going to hurt Toneless.
Bombs is off the track. Groggy's going to let him by, and Groggy is going to box.
Medium for Gerbil. It's going to be a medium compound for Holy Cow. Toneless goes in. A 5-second for his name now, but it's going to be a medium compound for the Ferrari.
I want to see how close Gerbil is to SwellerSteam now, as he's going to set the fastest lap. This is going to be close.
Not close enough.
He's going to be just ahead of him.
But look at the gap, by the way. Gerbil is barely in DRS. Rathe has stayed out for about 3 or 4 extra laps than SwellerSteam. He may be out of DRS.
Like, he might come out just ahead of Tweaking.
That's the gap to leader right now. He would actually be, according to the pit lane delta, he would actually be ahead of them.
Okay. Wrong button, what am I doing here? There we go.
What are you trying to look for?
No, I went to
Rathe.
go back to intervals and I switched to something else, not the tires. Just Rathe is in.
Rathe is in.
I'll stay on board with Botch Gerbil and SwellerStream, see where Rathe falls out into the pit, the track.
Driver to look out for. SwellerSteam. He's going exit a stow right now. Where does the Red Bull come out?
He's going to be behind his teammate. SwellerStream's going to set another fastest lap. But to your right, there's Rathe. He's going to file in just between these two. It's going to be close.
Wow. Yellow flag. Looks like one of the Alpines is off at Stowe.
Wow.
These two battling once again like they were on lap 1. Still side by side. Gerbil's going to get the upper hand again, but both will get DRS chasing down the Alfa Romeo. Well, that overcut didn't work out that well for Rathe when it comes to track position, but for tire life, it has definitely worked.
Oh, what an undercut, though, by SwellerStream.
It's an insane undercut.
Mozzie all over the back of Heatwave, who is in AI mode, assuming fixing his pedal issue.
That may hurt him.
But he stayed ahead through Copse.
But Gerbil gaining a bit on SwellerSteam. This may be the move for the lead. They've pitted so far, but they still need to go for the lead themselves around the outside of Stowe. Still side by side, going into Vale. He did it on lap 1. He'll do it again. Sweller will stay around the outside, looking still side by side in the exit of Vale. Better traction for the Aston Martin. That's going to be now him up into P5, but the provisional lead. But look at Rathe. He's closing in as well.
Well, Heatwave lost
maybe
position to Mozzie. He is not in AI mode anymore.
This may be another chance, but look at this. Bosch Gerbil is going to get DRS on Palms to win. This may actually help the Aston Martin here.
He doesn't have
he
the
won't
DRS.
get DRS. He was barely outside that window.
Mozzie and Heatwave are going at it. I'll pop down to this battle. They're going side by side down the straight. Tolness has got a great camera angle. Heatwave's gonna get the move done. He's gonna go deep into both of the corners.
Oh, here we go. Into Maggots, Beckets.
Oh boy.
Gerbil and Palms to the win. Side by side. Contact, I think, was made. Still side by side around the outside. That's a hell of a move.
Wow.
Rathe down the inside as well. They're now side by side. Rathe now goes up to 6th.
Look at Rathe.
But here comes Rathe on Sweller.
Yeah.
On the inside of Stowe. Squeezing the Alfa Romeo off. He'll grab 5th and provisional P2. That undercut really didn't work out too long for Sweller, though.
Still battling back here. Heatwave's gonna give him a little nudge.
Oh, contact in a veil. Oh, almost loses the car. Still side by side. Heatwave's still gonna be side by side in the Abbey. Still contact. This is gonna help Toneless.
Great view of this, and he's gonna get past Mozzie.
They both get past Mozzie. Almost like he was standing still.
Stella is still on the softs that he started on.
Rathe goes a little bit deep into Luffield. Down the inside, he goes for Sweller. Sweller's going to look for the under move. Rathe gets the better exit. With all this battling, that kind of helps Gerbil get away a bit. 7/10 of a second. That now puts Rathe at risk into the hangar straight going into Stowe from SwellerSteam in the Alfa Romeo again.
SwellerSteam's just going to run it a little bit wide due to the dirty air there from Rathe.
Yeah, that's going to kill that. That chance was already gone. So right now, these guys have stopped. 4th, 5th, 6th. 2 lap old medium, 1 lap old medium, 4 lap old medium. Palms the win in 7th has yet to stop, and everyone in front of them, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st have yet to stop, meaning they will go on the soft compounded tire. So go look at the gap, the leader here. Masterplane would come out around Heatwave in 10th and 11th, that battle between Toneless and Heatwave, on the soft compounded tire. So that may actually help Masterplane's battle out. Same with Silk Reaver. He may come out behind Mozzie. And Holy Cow may come out around Chunky Snags in the battle for 13th. Heatwave's been given another 3-second time penalty. That is now another, actually Chunky just grabbed one as well. Let's go take a look at the penalties themselves. 5 seconds for Toneless Death for speeding in the pit lane. 6 seconds for Heatwave. 3 for Chunky and 3 for Palm for the win. That's going to help, hurt them in the long run, especially because no one else seems to have any penalties. Well, the warnings, that's a different story.
Yeah, on board with Silkweaver, it doesn't look like he's having too many issues with the tires at the moment. They're sticking to the track like he needs them to. He's just at 8/10 outside of the DRS, so I wonder if these two guys are going to pit this lap.
Rathe closing up on Gerbil. Here comes the battle for the provisional lead, though. Around the outside of Stowe, Rathe is going to grab it. But it's not going to be without a defense. Rathe up into 4th in provisional lead. He will now take the lead as all 3 has come in.
Palms for the win is in as well.
Rathe sets the fastest lap on his, on his charge to the victory. Now it goes back to pretty much what it was, with Rathe ahead of Gerbil, ahead of Sweller. Tweaking goes up to 4th, and Calzona to 5th. It's not over yet. 11 laps to go in the British Grand Prix, and Rathe now takes the lead over, watch Gerbil. He's now going to have to DRS again down the Wellington Straight. Is he close enough in the run into Brooklyn? Is he going to look around the outside? Not close enough.
Groggy is going to get past Palms for the win in the pits.
Here we go again. Looking once again, closing, peeking for any chance. This may hurt him, though, this DRS straight, but how much dirty air is going to affect this Aston Martin through Maggots and Beckets?
Not that much.
Barely any at
nice
all.
And clean, yeah. He's going to get the run.
He'll get him here. To the left-hand side. It was a change in the lead the last lap. Now it's a change in the lead again. Same corner into Stowe. Gerbil now ahead of Rathe.
There's a yellow flag for Toneless.
Toneless death.
Does not have a front wing. Not sure what
Virtual
happened
safety
there.
car.
Ooh, could this be?
This is not the weekend Toneless wanted. He grabbed P3 in the championship after his win at the Austrian Grand Prix, and he wanted to keep it up. So far, that's not what happened at all. And another 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane.
To be fair, he did slow down, and then he just mashed on the gas. So, that would maybe deserved. But he is also going to have to serve another 5 seconds while he is in the pits.
Well, the drivers of the VSC have to abide by a delta time, and right now it looks like Gerbil is kind of pushing the limits of that delta a little bit more than Rathe is. Swellers is kind of waiting in the wing. Now with this VSC, we'll go look up the penalties once more. 6 seconds to Heatwave, 3 seconds to Chunky Snacks, 3 seconds to Pumps to the Win, and 5 seconds for Toneless Death. Looks like nothing happened at all. DRS is enabled, and we're going back green. Virtual safety car is gone. That didn't help Matt Silva. He's finally off the soft compounded tires. He's been on those tires for the 16 laps he started with them.
So the top
Impressive
two
stint.
are warning-free. Sweller is with 2 warnings to his name.
That may actually pretty much seal the race so far, because if one warning goes wrong, even if he goes for an overtake on Rathe or Brosh Gerbil, that could be a penalty. And that could, right now, if everyone in the top 5 has no penalties, I mean, obviously Tweaking is still 7 seconds behind, so the penalty right now wouldn't hurt SwellerSteam as much as it would probably do if it was maybe battle for 4th or 5th. But it would still pretty much eliminate his chances for the 1st or 2nd position, because right now Rathe and Gerbil, as you said, have no no warnings. So thus, well, it's going to be harder for them to get penalties. They have more leeway with that overtaking and with definitely that track limit infraction coming their way. About 9 laps to go. The British Grand Prix, laps 18 of 26, 17 down. And, well, 9 to go.
And here comes Rathe. Wasn't close enough. I got a hairball on my throat or something. I can't English.
Yes, hairballs make you not English.
Hey, okay, don't criticize me.
You got a hairball in your brain?
Yes. We'll go with that one.
Okay, that would make more sense.
I got a hairball in my body, okay? But I don't know where it is.
Somewhere in there. Right now, the closest battle on track is definitely this top 3, but don't look now. Mozzie is closing in on Heatwave again. These two cannot seem to separate from each other into Copse.
Yeah, Rathe right now is on
again,
the button. He is going down the inside. No, he's going to look for the outside around Stowe. He's not going to get the move done. Going to look for the switchback. Dribbble's just going to stay ahead into Vale.
Almost contact. It may have been a slight amount of contact. Dribble holds on. Mozzie actually stayed behind the hangar straight, kind of, I mean, using Heatwave a little bit. Tweaking 3-second time penalty. That is going to hurt him in his battle with Calzoner, battle for 4th.
Whoa!
And look at this, almost down the inside. That caught me off guard with the loop. Rathe wanted this move bad. That's going to hurt him. SwellerSteam is not going to look for this move.
I thought one of those two guys was going to go around for sure. Rathe is on the button. He's going to look for the move.
Whoa! Almost collided in the back with the Aston Martin.
I like a SwellerStream.
These guys are getting impatient now.
Very.
There are still 8 laps to go of this British Grand Prix. Holy cow, with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings and track extensions to be applied at the end of his race time. He's in 11th right now, and well, he's 8 seconds off the road from Chunky and 9 seconds off the road from Groggy Oregano, so he's kind of in a no man's land in 11th right now in his fresh, soft, compounded tires. These 3, though, Mozzie dropped back a little bit from Heatwave, but Rathe is going to try again on Brosh Gerbil. Silkweaver, 3-second time penalty, but here comes Rathe down the inside, looks for the move at Stowe, contact, Rathe's around.
Yeah, he was pushing for that move. He wanted it badly.
Well, now it's going to be from 3 to 2, and Gerbil, depending on how the stewards view that move, could be facing a penalty on himself. 5 seconds, the gap between... Actually, let's go look at the gap between him and the leader. It's about 6 seconds exactly.
Now, to be fair, Gerbil held his line once he moved to the right.
Not sure. It looks like... I don't want to give my opinion on it.
Or
But
that,
it looks
I'm
like
just
it
saying,
may have been
that was
aggression.
my opinion on it. I'm just throwing that out there for you and
Oh, I know.
for
I just don't
myself.
want to
But,
give
you
my
know,
opinion on it.
Right. But you can do, but we'll let the stewards handle
Me
it.
too, yeah.
We still have a lot of racing to do.
There we go. Like a true... You know what? You've gained some respect from that sentence alone. Congratulations.
Did I get a cookie?
You get more than a cookie. You get 2.
Ah, cool. I'll share one with you.
That defeats the entire purpose of what I... Okay, you lost respect. Give me the cookie back. All right. Fastest lap of the Grand Prix. That goes to Toneless Death. He just grabbed that. 28.3. He's down in 14th. He does not have the luxury of that 1 point so far. SwellerSteam's about 5/10 off of the Aston Martin here. Maybe there is some damage a little bit, depending on the gap. It looks like he's actually come down. Never mind. Negate that sentence that I just said. Now about 5.7 seconds gap between Gerbil and Rathe. Let's see how the stewards determine that incident, because it could be very well a determinant of how this race ends.
Oh, look at this. Mozzie's closing.
Not close enough again. Seems like Heatwave just has the widest Alpha Tauri on the planet.
Was this Pierre Gasly?
It could be.
I mean, I'm not going to say much, but, you know, okay.
Well, that's actually brought Masterplane in this battle with those fresher, should I rather, soft compounded tires. Here comes SwellerSteam on Gerbil, though. SwellerSteam's going to look for this move down the inside of Brooklands. With the DRS, he's going to get ahead.
I mean, look at the gap. Rathe is closed in almost 7/10. Make that 8/10.
Charge now. He knows it's do or die.
And he's using all of his ERS.
Masterplane, they're Mozzie. Masterplane and Mozzie are going for a little bit of an excursion right now. Side by side through Woodcut. And that's going to be Masterplane up to 7th. Mozzie's going to look for it again. He's just not going to be close enough into Copse.
Gerbil's going to have DRS. He's not going to use any of his ERS. He's going to look for the outside of Stone. He's going to get the move done before the corners. Calzone's going to pick up a time penalty there in 5th.
So now the lead goes back to Gerbil. And Mozzie may look for a move again on Masterplane. We go from just hot potatoing from one Aston Martin to the next. Holds on so far, Masterplane. He's going to be in 7th. Now chase after Heatwave on the 13 lap on mediums on his 4 lap on softs.
Yep, Rathe's gap right now, 2P2 is 4.0 seconds. I want to say 4.1. That was 3.8 through turn number 3, going into 4 and 5. Onto the straight, it is 3.9 seconds to SwellerSteam ahead of him. He can see them.
Rathe is pushing.
5 laps left.
I
Can he
think
catch
he's,
these guys ahead?
It's going to be close, and this is also going to be a big determinant here. If the stewards give a let's say, for example, a penalty to Gerbil, right now he would be in that penalty window. If SwellerSteam doesn't grab a penalty, he would win the Grand Prix. But let's say SwellerSteam doesn't, and he grabs a penalty. He doesn't stay penalty free. Rathe would win the race if he can get within that 3-second penalty window.
Yeah,
Rathe has multiple outcomes right now.
Look at the battery to Rathe, though. He has used all of his ERS.
8%.
Yeah, he's used all of his ERS to the guys ahead of him who still have 25% or more.
Battle between Masterplane, still clear for another 3-second time penalty applied to the end of his race time. He's pushing pretty hard to catch up to this battle, led by this man, Heatwave and Masterplane. They'll go for the move down the inside of Stowe. It's aggression, and there'll be contact again, almost the exact same of Rathe and Gerbil. Oh, no!
That's not how you do it, guys. Come on.
And out of the race, Masterplane. And Heatwave spins to the other side of the track into the pit lane.
Car.
And safety car has been deployed.
Wow. Wait. This is not going to matter. It's going to be a 1-lap safety car.
It would be a one-lap safety car because it comes in, what, next lap? Which means DRS won't be enabled either.
Oh.
Chunky Snacks comes in. Heatwave comes in to fix his front wing. Holy cow, there's a 5-second time penalty and pits as well on another set of softs. Groggy Oregano is in. But it's going to be battle between these two up here. Between SwellerSteam and Bart's Gerbil. Wraith's going to get another chance.
Yeah, he is slowing down to save his, to collect that battery.
Well, here we go again. No DRS. The safety car should come in next lap, meaning it will start on lap 25 of 26, meaning we'll have 2 laps of racing, no DRS,
Dribble is
and it's going to be
in.
an all-out sprint.
SwellerStream stays
That's
out.
probably the better call.
Rathe is
Depending on if
in.
everyone else stays out, I don't know if I agree with this now.
Tweaking
everyone stays
stays
out-
out. Calzone stays out. Mozzie stays out.
Silkweaver should stay out.
Silkweaver's
He
gonna come
goes in.
in.
Actually, this may be a good call here. We have to figure this one out. It's going to be close, especially how much can you overtake. That's why I'm honestly preferring SwellerSteam's strategy here. He has Tweaking and Calzoner behind him, and Mozzie as well, his teammate. But there's no DRS. I don't think the softs are going to have that much of an advantage here.
I don't think so, but everyone else came in.
Well, we'll have to see, because it's going to be an all-out brawl. But then again, who catches the safety car?
You know, instead of it being a curveball, this is a knuckleball.
A spiked ball.
No, it's a
A
knuckleball.
ball with thorns.
Because you don't know what's gonna
Oh, yeah, that could
happen.
work too. There you go.
Oh, Calzone went way wide. What is Matt Silva doing?
Trying to unlap himself. It didn't work last week, Matt. Don't do it. There you go. Bailey says it's not a ball, it's a cookie you lost.
Oh, okay. Damn it!
Rathe is going to be close to catch the safety car, but he will do it. And I
Safety
think
is
Silkweaver
in.
is not going to catch the safety car.
Now. So depending on
So
how
there'll be 6 drivers.
depending on how slow SwellerStream goes, Silkweaver might catch it though.
I don't think he wants to go slow. He knows, he looks at the map, he can see that gap. If he
Right.
goes as soon as he can, That's
He's
going
gonna
to
have
help
to
his
wait.
case.
He's gonna have to go into Vale coming out of the final corner, and that's when he's gonna have to gun it.
or now.
He's going now. Matt Silva's gonna pick up a time, but he's gonna retire. What?
He may have gone to the pit lane and instantly retire. We're going back green for 2 more laps here at the British Grand Prix. No DRS, and it's going to
Oh,
be
dribbles on
just
the back
one
of
all-out
Mozzie.
brawl.
Rathe is pushing these two.
Oh, he gets them both. He loses both positions. Gerbil and Rathe go to 4th and 5th. Rathe is now going to go down the inside of Gerbil. They collided once before. Contact again. Into the loop. Better exit so far because Gerbil had to get on the curb. But look at the gap. 2 seconds to Calzoner. They're not done yet. Rathe is going to go down the inside into Brooklyn's. Contact again. Wheel banging. And Rathe will get ahead of the Aston Martin.
That was a lunge.
It was. But how much time do they have left? 1.6 seconds. Battle to Calzoner. That is the gap. But do they have enough time to go catch SwellerSteam? The 2 in front of him have penalties. But it's not going to matter. Because SwellerSteam does not unless he picks up a 3-second time penalty.
Rathe's gonna run wide through the exit of Chapel. That's gonna give Gerbil the momentum he needs, probably, to look for the move. He's not on the button, he's just gonna use the slipstream. He's gonna stay right behind him into Stowe. Gap 1.4 from Rathe now to Calzoner ahead.
Yes, it is. We go down Now on to the final lap of the Grand Prix at Silverstone. Silvercleaver ahead of I Am Tweaking. Fastest lap to Rathe. He is in the top 10. He will grab that fastest lap point if it stays. He has one more lap to hold on. SwellerSteam has one more lap and about 14 more corners to not get a penalty.
Gap 7/10 from Rathe to Calzona now.
Heat wave
There's
is
two
a final
cars.
time penalty. So,
Those penalties just came across my screen.
yeah, I believe someone else grabbed it. Not sure exactly who. Gap to leader 3.1. Even if a penalty happens, right now they would not get it. No DRS.
Rathe is looking for this move on Calzona. He's going to look for the move. He's going to push him through Maggots and Beckets.
He's going to have to get him here.
Wow, he's pushing really hard.
He's trying for this move. He's going to the left-hand side, and he should get the move, unless anything that Calzona has to say about it. Well, let's go from him to the leader, SwellerSteam. It has been
Gerbill's going to look for the
since
move as well.
Portimao. About 7 rounds ago, Sweller, he took the championship lead. It got to take it away from him. Now he takes it back. SwellerSteam wins the British Grand Prix. Rathe grabs the fastest lap and will grab P2. Gerbil P3. Tweaking P4. Calzona P5. Mozzie P6. Silvercleaver come home in 7th. Chunky Snags P8. He will have a 3-second time penalty on the final corner. Heatwave around the final corner at Club. He'll finish 9th. Holy cow. Into Vale. He should finish 10th. Groggy Oregano, Toneless Death, and what bad week it has been so far for him. Unserved time penalty for Holy Cow. It could be removed depending on his severity. But Toneless Death has been from winning the Austrian Grand Prix to not finishing points at the British Grand Prix. He's going to want to forget that. Pops the Win has no front wing. But once again, the story is the top 3.
Oh, Toneless.
Toneless Death actually grabbed the fastest lap. That takes it away from Rathe. He will not grab the point, and Toneless will not either. But once again, chaos and a great race. Silverstone for Tier 3. Silvercleaver grabs driver of the day. And, well, he did not start in the top 10 and finished in 7th place. That is definitely deserved as well. But it's been over 7 rounds since the last time this man sat on the top of the podium, that being at Portimao. And, well, now 7 rounds later, he now takes it back. Championship lead and the race victory ahead of BRL Rathe and Botched Gerbil. And it's going to be a fun podium interview with those two.
I didn't even see who driver of the day was.
Silvercleaver.
Ah, that's who it was.
So we should have Silvercleaver, Rathe, Gerbil in the booth, unless SwellerSteam could not. We should have him as well. But the British Grand Prix has come and gone, and it's been once again another great race in Tier 2. SwellerSteam will grab the victory, his 2nd of the season, ahead of Rathe in the Red Bull, and Botched Gerbil running out the podium. I Am Tweaking. He grabs 4th position ahead of Calzona. Mozzie in the Alfa Romeo team once again will grab the most points and the leading constructor, and that's going to be another great chance for them to take an even higher advantage of the Constructors' Championship. Silvercleaver grabs 15th on the grid, up 8 positions, and the driver of the day. Chunky Snags in 8th, TTM Heatwave in 9th. Holy Cow rounds out the top 10. Groggy Oregano 11th, Toneless Death 12th with the fastest lap, with Pops the Win in 13th. We have lost Matt Silva, Master Plane, and Radicus from the Tier 2 British Grand Prix. stand by as we try to get the other podium sitters in the booth. We will get to the podium interviews shortly. Alright, looks like we're not going to be joined by Silkweaver or Botster, but we need to get moving on. So let's go to P2, and Redeemer, I'm not going to take this pleasure away from you because you get to do it every week. We'll do it again. Take it away with Rathe and the P2 finisher.
Rathe, P2, probably not the race you would have wanted. Had pole by an amazing lap, I believe, if I remember. And then the safety car now at the very end of. Walk us through the race, and congratulations on finishing P2.
Yeah, Blair had really good pace, but yeah, the beginning of the race, it was just, the track was really cold, so it felt tough to find grip, but as the race progressed, it started to get better, and the track started to get warmer, so, after my incident with Gerbil, I just, tried to keep my head down and try and gain as much time as I can just in case second or something. But came out and I just took a gamble to go on the sauce, which I was hoping people behind me would go on the sauce too. But yeah, it was just the wrong choice. But yeah, and then Mozzie played it smart. Being Sweller's teammate, holding me and Gerbil up, but fair play to him. It was a smart move, and yeah, to recover the P2s.
Yeah, it was a tough battle between you, Gerbil, opposition for pretty much the whole race. Hungary in 2 weeks' time. Your thoughts going into that race?
I'm just gonna go there, do what I can do, see what I can do, and just try and go for the win there. And yeah, I just want to say thank you to Valkyrie for being my race engineer for this race. It was really helpful. So yeah, thank you.
Well, Ketcha, I don't have any further questions for Rathe. If you have anything or want anything to add, now is the time.
All right. Well, of no racing a week from now, it is going to be American Thanksgiving, so there will be no BRL racing through all of the Formula 1, Formula 2, and ACC tiers. So we wish you, I guess, a happy mid-season break, because now is about the time. 10 races down, 14 races to go, and the championship is starting to heat up once again, with SwellerSteam grabbing the championship lead once again from Rathe. It was 1 point going in. It's now going to be even closer going out, and, well, we'll pick it up back at Hungary, and it'll be a good championship regardless for them. But for now, from myself, Hickatcher, joined alongside LDR Redeemer, it's not done. We still have racing to go. We have, in about 30 minutes' time, Tier 1, they take their the round at 10 for the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. And, well, say myself, Mitchie, and all the Tier 1 guys like Chandler. We'll have Hoop, we'll have Ferrari Nut, Cookie, Bailey, Minico, and many, many more. They'll take to the circuit of Silverstone themselves, where heritage, history, and where it all began. And, well, it's going to be fun. But don't stop there. If you don't like Formula 1 racing, that's completely fine. Tune in on Sunday, tomorrow, for the season finale of the ACC Assetto Corsa Competizione Round 3 season. The 2 hours, or actually it's 1.5 now, of Bathurst. And Axe and Mitchie will bring you the action from Mount Panorama, and it'll be fun to watch, and I'll be on the grid, so don't worry about me, because I'll be probably spinning somewhere in 15th. Anyways, from myself and the Breakout Racing League, from LDR Redeemer and the entire Tier 2 grid, we wish you a happy holidays, Tier 2, and thank you for watching. Good evening, and good night.